Hey, my name is Sergeant Matthew King Sr., and I'm a firefighter paramedic from the metro Atlanta area. My department, we run a lot of high hazard calls every year, so we see a lot of this stuff. And today we are going to be looking at some of the fire clips from CBS's Fire Country and rating them, seeing how awesome they are, seeing how realistic they are. So let's get into them.
Greencrest, this is IC 1508. Gonna need more units at my position.
We need some water! Right there, dishwashing station. Everyone, grab a tub. Hey, man.
All right, we got us a wood fire. And quite honestly, I absolutely despise these. I was actually just talking about this with a couple of my guys at the station the other day. These are very volatile, they're very dangerous. They pose a very high risk of spread to us, to the neighboring communities, to the people surrounding us. So these are bad, and they can get out of control rather fast.
Good, hit it again.
Okay, so we're grabbing buckets of water, we're grabbing gallons of water. With us, we have like a pickup truck with a small tank on the back of it that we can get back into wood areas like that. It also has a pump that we can connect to from 1,000 feet or more away. So we kind of utilize that to get back to these hard to reach locations at campsites and put out fires if we need to. Gallons, buckets, I love it. Honestly, there are some times where we don't have the luxuries of a big fancy fire engine, or we don't have the luxuries of a pickup truck with a tank on it. Sometimes we got to make do with what we have. And that's one thing I'm already loving about the scene, is that they had a hazard. They didn't have necessarily the tools they needed to mitigate said hazard, but they found a way anyway.
Eve, check this out.
Is that legit?
Hell no. Someone's been siphoning illegal power from the city. I lived in plenty of situations just like this. People do what they gotta do.
Well, we gotta clean it up though, right? It's a fire hazard.
Absolutely.
This is a big one. All these extension cords and power cables that are running to this one campsite, we see that a lot, and it is a highly dangerous situation. And they run these things out into these woods where there's dry, brittle grass, brush, flammable materials like you see here, towels and shirts, and we see this all the time. This actually happens, and they lose what little property they have. This is highly dangerous, and please don't ever consider this. This is overkill. All right, so after watching this scene, and it wasn't much, but a lot happened in a little bit of time, on my own personal rating scale, I gotta give this one 5 axes, simply because I love the fact that they came in, they saw they had a hazard, and even though they didn't have the fancy tools, if they didn't have the fancy equipment that they needed, they saw a hazard and they found a way to mitigate it. They went into work, they didn't pause, they didn't stop, they got people back, and they contained the hazard, and they did it quick. So because of that, that's real, that's every day for us, that's 5 axes, love it.